I'm Christel Wintels, and you're watching Jennifer Beale's Unleash PR TV.
I'm here with Christel Wintels, who's the franchise owner of the Golden Horseshoe B&I. So we've got one of the top experts in business networking, and I'm going to turn over to you and ask you just right off the bat, what's one of the biggest problems that you see that people do in their business networking that's ruining it for them?
And it's not just ruining it for them, it's ruining it for all of us, and that would be premature solicitation.
Premature solicitation.
And you got to watch the way you say that, Jennifer.
Okay, tell us, what is premature solicitation?
So it's when somebody comes up to you at a networking event and says, "Hi, my name's Christel. So I'd like to meet your number one best contact because I have something that would change their life."
Okay, got it. So they're asking for something before you're ready to give it to them. That would be premature, okay.
Absolutely. And not only asking for something, they're asking for something big. We all build our networks very carefully, and we're all very protective of the relationships we have in our network. When someone comes up to you and says, "I want to meet the most famous person you know, or the most wealthy person that you know," and that's a relationship that you've spent a lot of time building your credibility with, they haven't earned the privilege to ask you for that introduction. So they're leaping in at a level where you don't know them, you certainly haven't built a relationship with them, and there's no trust between the two of you. But what they're asking is absolutely cold, and the equivalent would be cold calling. And so when folks do this, they actually look at you as though you should just hand over the name and say, "Yeah, no problem," right? Well, let's have lunch on Tuesday. And it just doesn't work that way because these relationships are very precious. And when you do have people in your network that you're close to and you like and respect and you know them, you're delighted to introduce them.
So what works?
So I think what works is just when you're going to a networking event and you're meeting somebody for the very first time is build that rapport with them at the beginning.
Give me some suggestions. What would people say to get rapport going?
Well, let's go back to the very first time you and I met, right? When we first met at a networking event, like, we kind of liked each other. We chatted a little bit. We seemed to have a few things in common. We didn't, pursue the relationship the next day, the next week. We found ourselves at other events.
So I didn't ask for too much that day.
You didn't ask for anything that day. What you established with each other is the fact that we probably would like to get to know each other better. Right?
Okay.
And that's what you do at networking events.
Okay, so give me an idea of something that somebody could say when they first meet someone, build that rapport, and then what should they do with it so that they don't get into this premature solicitation?
So I think if people show a genuine interest in each other, I think one of the best objectives at a networking event is to actually see if you connect with people that you like.
Okay, so what would you say to someone?
Well, I would start to ask them a little bit about the business that they're in. I would ask them why they chose that business. That's often very telling. People choose businesses because it's something they love, something they're passionate about. I like to align myself with that kind of person. So if they are enthusiastic and passionate about their business, I find that an attractive trait. So that's somebody I want to talk to again, right? And that was one of the things that helped us build our rapport. Right? Because you're very enthusiastic about what you do.
Now, you meet a lot of people, you go to a lot of events, and you put on a lot of your own events. Do you come across people quite often who are doing this premature asking for something from you?
All the time.
Okay, so how do people who are experiencing it, who don't do it, who are experiencing it from somebody on the other side, how can we stay engaged with somebody, and what could we say or do to somebody when they've asked a little bit too much, too fast from us?
Yeah. And not making the person feel uncomfortable
Right.
if they have that level of sensitivity. Because I'm not always sure that folks who do premature solicitation have that level of sensitivity.
Okay.
But if they do have that level of sensitivity, I would recommend taking it back to the fundamentals. Like, my name's Christel. We don't know each other very well. This is the first time we've met. And although I really enjoy introducing my contacts to the people in my network, I do that after I've established a long-term, trusting relationship, after we've done some projects together, after we've done some business together. So if we want to start to build that kind of relationship, that's cool with me.
Okay, and if I were to respond and say, that sounds great because I'd like to get to know you better, what would you suggest then that we do next to further our relationship at a pace that you're more comfortable with?
Well, I think probably what happens when you're building networking relationships and business relationships is frequency. Right? So if you go to events and you see similar people time and time again, or if you start to find that you have areas of mutual interest, maybe there's a blog that you like to follow and you think this person might like to follow that blog. If you start to stay in touch with that kind of natural approach, then you'll find that you're able to build the relationship consistently, right?
Okay.
And it may even build quickly. If you've both sort of got a mutual need that you can help each other benefit from, again, the relationship's going to build more quickly as well. But I think it's looking out for both parties. How can you help each other? What can you do for each other that's going to be beneficial for the relationship as a whole?
And it's a relationship we're looking to build, not get a sell, right? Networking is relationship building, and premature solicitation is direct selling, if that's what I hear you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
And we want to get back to relationship building, take it slow, and build over time.
Absolutely.
And then how would you know when you're at that point where you could ask?
I think you get to a level of comfort. Like there's a couple of questions that you can sort of ask yourself. How well do you know the person? Do you know if they have children? Do you know their children's names? Do you know when their birthday is, the person's birthday? When you start to know that information about somebody, it means that the relationship is reaching another level. And I guess a good assessment of sort of a business relationship, could you call that relationship after hours if you needed something, right? That level of relationship probably means that you're ready to ask for that favor.
Okay.
That you're ready to do that solicitation, if you will. But you know, it's not solicitation. If you've been in a relationship with somebody and you've built that trust, it's helping each other out, right? So the whole word solicitation, because it's got that sales connotation, that's everything's happening too early and too soon and too fast.
And all we need to do is just slow down.
Yeah.
Go in with an intention to meet some people, and find the ones that we want to continue on with and build a relationship with. And when it comes time to ask for the help that we need, we will know when it's okay inside, or the other person probably would be offering.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thanks. So, premature solicitation, let's not do it.
Let's eliminate it.
Let's eliminate it.
Forever.
Yeah, help others eliminate it, and also ensure that we're not doing it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.